Hey everyone, this is Yo Yu Yi with an update to my Stamina Dragonknight build. I'm going to make this as quick as possible with explanation at the end of the video if you guys want to see that. Gear, I am running 1 Blood Spawn, 1 Kenna, 4 Mark Holden on the Sword and Shield bar, and 3 Shield Breaker with 3 Agility, all regen glyphs on them, all stamina glyphs, and 2-hand Maelstrom Axe. You can use Mark Holden 2-hander if you don't have VMA weapon. Onto skills, I'm using Shuffle on the main bar, Reverberating Bash on the main bar, Heroic Slash on the main bar, Igneous Shield on the main bar, Dragon Wings on the main bar, Corrosive Armor on the main bar. Instead, you could also use Werewolf for the regen or Flawless Dawnbreaker for the weapon damage. On my 2-hander bar, I am using Vigor, Volatile Armor, Crit Rush, Unstable Flame, and Rally. CP. I have 25 into Block Expertise, 71 into Hardy, 40 into Element and Defender, 10 into Thick Skin to get that Unchained passive, 20 into Quick Recovery, 10 into Magician, 26 into Warlord, 100 into Mooncat, 30 into Tumbling, 13 into Blast, 40 into Precise Axe, 12 into Piercing, 100 into Might. I am currently using Tri-Food. I am using the Serpent Mundus. My stats fully buffed with Rally, right here. 40k stam, 20k health, 14k match cut, 2.6k stam recovery, 2.4k. This goes up to around 2.6k in combat with Igneous. With a pot up, my regen shoots up to 3k. Weapon damage goes higher on my 2-hander, which is why I'm using Take Flight on this. Alright, so that was the first part of the build video. This is the part where I go in depth into things for people that just want to quickly see what I am using, or want an explanation on what I am using. For Mark Holden, it gives me max stam recovery, and weapon damage, so it's good, I guess. 1 Blood Spawn for the 1 regen, 1 Kenna for 1 weapon damage, and 3 Shield Breaker for the regen and max stam. You could, if you don't have Molak Kenna, you could just use 4 Shield Breaker, which is essentially the same thing. Kenna just looks cool, I guess. Blood Spawn, I feel like this is essential to the build, so grind that. 3 Agility, for obvious reasons. It's basically an essential for every stam build. I'm running 3 regen glyphs because I am running food as well. For me, I think food is a necessity on a DK due to multiple passives that synergize well with it, as Battle Roar scales with max stats. So the more max stats you have, the more you get in return. Earth and Heart, which restores 5% of your stamina every time you use any of these abilities. For Edguard, it also increases this for me. And the more stam you have, the more damage you have. So I do lack some damage. Like usually the norm for a Sword and Board build is around 3k. I do lack some damage, but I make up for that in a well over 40k stamina. Or not well over, at 40k stamina. I'm using Shuffle on my front bar due to, well, easier snare removals. Reverb Bash for the heal debuff, it is essential. If someone says it's bug, fuck them, just don't fight them. That's it. Open world, they're just gonna have to deal with it, and whatever. You could use Fossilize if you want, but considering I'm using food and have low Magicka regen, I can't sustain with Fossilize. Heroic Slash, I use this over Ransack now, due to the fact that Puncture it doesn't do enough damage. It really doesn't. While Heroic Slash, it does as much damage as Puncture, a lot more actually. On top of that, it gives you it snares the opponent, which is huge. On top of that, it gives you ultimate minor maim, it gives you ultimate and minor maim, which makes you even more tanky, and helps DK sustain overall. Igneous Shield on my front bar, but with no heals on my front bar due to the fact that I want more heals out of my 2-hander, due to me having more damage and stuff. But I want Igneous on my front bar because I have more stamina on this bar due to the Sword and Shield, which gives me more stamina in return for using it. Wings, so while I'm attacking someone, I could also be semi-defensive with frags and stuff coming my way. Corrosive armor, this is a really good ultimate. If you're not a red guard, I really recommend werewolf, but otherwise stick with corrosive, because this thing just makes you completely invincible and boosts your damage. You can kill someone in the heat of a moment, maybe even multiple people actually. Vigor, obviously for the heal. Volatile armor, tankiness, I guess. I used to run rapids instead of volatile armor, but the problem is it's just rapids I would never use in the middle of combat just to get LOS. I always only used it against, like, when a Zerg is chasing me. Half the time I never escaped anyways, but most of the time for my mobility I just sprint now, and that is a real thing. Yes, you can sprint, and the thing is, next patch sprint is actually being buffed from 30% movement speed buff to a 40% movement speed buff, so that's even better for us. Crit rush for the gap closer, it synergizes well with my VMA weapon. Unstable flame, I tested. You could use burning breath if you want, or caltrops if you're in a group. Burning breath gives you an armor fracture, which heroic slash does not provide, while ransack does. So you could use burning breath, combine that with heroic slash. However, I prefer unstable flame due to the dot damage being a lot higher actually than burning breath. Although the tooltip doesn't really seem like it, it does. I tested the damage for both. Unstable flame actually gives you more DPS overall than using burning breath and heroic. Rally, obviously, for the major brutality buff and the huge heal. Take flight for, well, my damage ultimate hit. My tooltip is 18.7k, should be around 19k in combat with Igneous. So yeah. Alright, I forgot to mention, like I said, I am running Tri-Food right here, these two. V15 Tri-Food. This build doesn't rely on pots. Pots are just a huge bonus. As you can see, my regen is really high, especially for food. How I achieve this regen is with food is my logic was that I got food, so that destroyed a lot of my regen, obviously. So what I did to make up for it was make all my jewelry goods regen. So that gives me all regen, or a ton of regen with food. Although it does put my weapon damage down, but as stated before, my stamina makes up for it. Only problems I ever have is Magicka, but honestly that's not a problem. I don't ever spam Igneous. I don't even ever spam Dragon Scale, because I am tanky enough with just Volatile to the point where I don't have to spam these two. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this build video was good enough, I guess. If you guys have any questions, please leave them below, and I'll be sure to answer them. Or PM me at youyuyi9999. Everything will be in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Your skin is warm like an oven. Your kiss is sugary sweet. Your fingers feel like cotton when you put your arms around me. I feel like I'm just missing something whenever you leave. We've got all the ingredients except you loving me. And respectfully, like vanilla, you taste like buttercream. You're filling up my senses with empty calories. I feel like I'm just missing something whenever you leave. We've got all the ingredients except you needing me. So respectfully,